Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with another update to my Building Hogwarts series. There's been a little bit of building progress in this update, but it is on the in-between week, as you might have noticed. I wanted to do an extra video thanking everybody for 1,000 subscribers on this channel. I think I'm at like 1,037 or so as of the time I'm recording this. I hit 1,000 a week or two ago and was trying to figure out, oh, what do I want to do? I decided, hey, I'll just do an extra update. We'll do an overview of what's been accomplished so far for Hogwarts, talk a little bit about what is still to come. So, as you can see, I have finally finished clearing off my city from these tables. There's some of it right over there. I'm really running out of room to set Lego around in this room, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in this video. But I got that cleared off. At one point I had that table raised up so it was even with the other ones, and then I realized, well, there needs to be lower sections anyway, so I don't have to use quite as many bricks to raise up the other areas. This is still going to be raised at least probably one more big ugly rock piece up, at least. Possibly even more than that, but at least I have one section that's a little bit lower, which is where the bridge is going to go across. I tried it when I originally had this table up at the same height of the bridge being shorter, but then it really starts to look funny. But if I raise the entrance courtyard and Great Hall up a little bit more, I can make the bridge taller, so then the gaps underneath it aren't quite as short, because it's a pretty defining feature of Hogwarts, the viaduct bridge that goes between the entrance courtyard and then a building over here that it hasn't even been started yet. It's a pretty defining characteristic that it's very tall. The supports are just, very long, like it's held up by magic, essentially, which, if you think about it, probably is in the in-universe version. But I did work on this bridge. I completely started over, rebuilt it. I had a very miniaturized version of it before that I think I showed in my very first video for this channel. Or not for this channel, but for this series. This bridge is actually not quite as wide. I think I shortened it by 2 studs. But I think it looks a little bit closer to minifig scale, just the spacing in here. Again, like I said, refer to my first Building Hogwarts video where I had a very, very rough version of it. But that's coming along nicely. That's the only real build progress that's happened. Other than that, I wanted to kind of set stuff out, see what my space was looking like. Basically what it's looking like is I have nowhere near enough space, which is kind of what I figured, just with how incredibly massive the Great Hall is over here, and that's not even all that huge of a part of Hogwarts. A lot of scenes, of course, happen in the Great Hall, but there's a lot more to the castle than just that. And it really is taking up pretty much one table by itself. So, as you can probably tell, Great Hall, this is the entrance hall in here. I have worked a little bit more on that as well. And the entrance courtyard, which I showed off in my last update. Not sure why there's a thestral sitting here, but I guess it's not causing any problems. This is not at all the tower that's going to be here. It might be about this size, round in diameter. Wow, round. Oh well. So this is probably roughly the size of the tower that I'm going to set here. If you remember looking at overviews of the castle or shots of the Great Hall, there's a little tower off to the side here. It kind of overlaps with part of the entrance courtyard and then the walkway that leads down. What I'm going to have in that tower, I might have mentioned this before, the lower level is going to be the Hufflepuff common room, because it will be roughly even with the kitchen level of Hogwarts. And the upper level, that's even in height with the entrance courtyard, I'm going to put Filch's office, Filch the caretaker, in there. And that should be a pretty good use for that tower, but I was glad that I had this kind of mocked up just for the size. This tower doesn't have any windows in it, at least not in any of the pictures that I could see. But it should work fine for that. This over here, of course, is the base. Not necessarily even the base, but it's just a stand-in for the grand staircase tower. It's probably going to be that size. I might widen it a little bit. But that's roughly where it'll be sitting. Again, just wanted to set everything out about where it would probably be in the end. But of course, this is where the problem comes in, right? Because from the Grand Staircase Tower, there's a section of Hogwarts that will go over here. There'll be another tower here that's connected by a stone bridge that goes to the, I don't even know what it's called, the East Wing of Hogwarts, which if you look at the official micro-scale Hogwarts set, that is the side of the building that is captured here, which I have not even started on. This section over here, the long gallery, is on the back side of that section of Hogwarts. So yeah, I need more table that direction, and I need a lot more table back here because there's a section of Hogwarts that comes over here, and then there's the quad courtyard, which goes back further, and kind of at the end of that is where the hospital wing is, and then that goes over to the clock tower section of Hogwarts, which then goes across that bridge, which takes you down the Hagrid's hut. I have no idea how I'm going to fit that in this room. I'm going to have to do a lot of rearranging, get some more tables. And then, as I said, I have to extend this out as well. I think what I can do, we'll step over to the other side of the room and kind of look at it. Pardon the mess, I just had to kind of show everything off the table onto other locations. So what I think I can do is I can shift these down a little bit here, remove that storage unit, put that underneath a table somewhere. But I can give myself probably 5 or 6 inches further down here, which should mean I can fit another table on the other side here. That'll be tight. I'll have to rearrange probably where this desk is, but that'll at least give me enough room lengthwise, I think, to fit the rest of this building, have the bridge pretty much covering the whole span of the lowered table, and then the Great Hall will be about where it is. But of course I need it to be a lot deeper too, and that's where I run into some problems here. Because as you can see, there's this very broken wardrobe thing sitting here that was here when we got the house, and it's a pain to move it. But I think I'm going to have to. And it's as you can see, it has a nasty lean to it as it is. It was a good spot for my Star Wars sets, though. So I think what I'm going to do is replace that with some shelving that's a little bit narrower. That way I can still have like unopened boxes and other things on display there, and it can even be taller than that. But if it doesn't stick out quite as far from the wall, I should be able to fit another table running, or a couple more tables running this way. Which will at least get me closer to the correct distance that I need. I haven't done any official measurements or found exactly what shelving I would want to use for that. But that should open up some space there so I can move the tables out and continue working on this beast of a mock. Let me know what you think about it so far. Any suggestions, any questions you've got down in the comments. And I should still have another video next week, depending on orders coming in. I have had several bricks and pieces, Bricklink orders on the way to me, so hopefully those will be arriving shortly. Hope you have enjoyed this update, and thank you again for 1,000 subscribers.